dignitaries, and all the spectators present here. I am Gagandeep Yadav from Allen House Institute of Management, and I am here to share my views on the implication of Union Budget 2023-24 with special reference to the defense sector. So, moving ahead, I would like to give an overview and a brief about the history of the Indian budget system. It was first introduced in the year 1860 on April 7. Then, at that time, it was a British rule. After that, on November 26th, 1947, after the independence of the India, the first budget was announced by Indian Finance Minister R.K. Shanmukham Chetty, and then every year from then, the budget is being announced on the 1st of the February. This year, the theme of the budget is Vasudev Kutumbakam, and it is being called as the Amrit Kal ka budget, because the year from 2022 to 2047 will be 25 years of span, and it would be considered as Amrit Kal by keeping in mind that we want to become the world guru as we were like before. And Saptarishi means that these are the 7 factors that India is going to focus in this Amrit Kal. The 7 factors and the aim of the budget for the financial year 2023 to 24 as well as till 2047 are listed here, which with reference to the defense sector, we could say that inclusive development, like the artilleries or the weapons that we have, we should keep maintaining them. They should be ready at any time. Then reaching the last mile, whatever budget is being announced to each and every sector, like Indian Air Force, the Chief Air Marshal of Indian Air Force said that this is a challenge, but moreover, it's an opportunity. He tweeted on the 2nd of the Feb, and he also mentioned that this will be an opportunity for us for the upcoming growth and the good relationship with the other countries. Infrastructure and investment. Infrastructure means developing more and more borders and the border roads for the betterment of the army, and so that they could reach on time with their full power. Unleashing the potential means unleashing all the inner things that should be not be hidden, like promoting the schemes like Agnipath and Agniveer. Agniveer is for the Air Force and Agnipath is for the Army. And green growth. The defense sector is now focusing on giving all the headquarters as well as all the camps to work on the green energy to save environment. Youth power is same affiliated with the Agniveers and Agnipath. And financial sector. The government is trying to import less on the weaponry so that the finances could be managed on and the budget could be allocated in different sectors where it is much needed for the development of like infrastructure. And the next, the aim of the budget, the very specific thing I would like to mention is the 4th point, women empowerment. The NDA is now has started accepting the forms of the women's or girls in the NDA so that they could also participate in this and get a high commission rank in the NDA or in the serving. Next, we have the defense sector. They have been allocated with 5.94 lakh crore rupees, which is approx 12% hike from the previous budget, and it is the previous was 2.25 lakh crores. The capital outlay for the modernization. Modernization means the new things, the innovative things, and the plus points that will be carried on in the future. That has been allocated with 1.62 lakh crores, and the revenue is 2.70 lakh crores. Pensions for the retired personals or those who are not working actively, they have been announced as 1.38 lakh crores. For civil defense, the 0.22 lakh crore. This is something when there is any calamity or any situation at the borders, at that time this money is used for the helping the citizens over there as well as the army men. Next, we have Indian Air Force. As its tagline says, touch the sky with glory, and it is actually doing that. With the allotment of 1,14,723 crore rupees in the year 2023 and 24, the Air Force is more focusing on the development of the weaponries which are used in the aeroplanes, in the aircrafts. Like importing the previous biggest purchase was Rafale. So if that money could, the tax we paid to the France, if that could be used in here only and we could make in India, and then it would be much beneficial for us. And it has been a 2% hike from the last budget, and the allocation for the modernization, for the innovation process, is approx 50%. It is 48%, but half of the money has been completely given to the modernization purpose. Next, we have Indian Navy. Navy has been allocated 99,062 crore rupees for the financial year 2023-24, and here also the modernization for the Indian Navy is 48%, which shows that the India is more focused about the air force and the air attacks and air defense, as well as the naval things, because the sea is really vast and China is a big trouble for India if we didn't collide with the Australia and US countries like them. Next, we have Indian Army. They have been given 3,41,090 crore rupees in the financial year 2023-24, and the 9% of the army's budget is being spent on the modernization. It is less because army already has a lot of assets with them, that it needs more less focus than the airways and the air force and the Indian Navy. Now, the 68% of the equipment in the vintage category. This is a bit confusing because many people consider vintage category as like they are not in use. But when there was a tension along the border after the Pulwama attack, then the artilleries that we have, they are only in 5 to 6 numbers. They were sent through the helicopters from the museums to the borders to meet its implications, and they helped a lot. So they are under working condition. They are not just they are just old dated. So this is, and the 8% of the is state of the art category. They are also a part of, in a way they are under process, they are being used, they are being under development. Like for Indian Air Force, in IIT Madras 2 days ago, one of the taxis being made, that it will travel much faster than the helicopter by the air route. So that is under process, that is under testing phase. So the innovations like this will help a lot to the whole defense sector. Next, we have border road and DRDO. Border road are now being much more important for the Indian army, because taking our tanks and the artilleries from one place to another, and at the border section there are no roads. So it has been given a 43% hike from the previous budget, and this year the total allotment is 5,000 crores rupees. The DRDO, which is basically the backbone of the weaponry system of the India, they have been given a 9% hike, and they have been allocated with 23,264 crore in the financial year 2023 and 24. Now, I would like to sum up this my PPT with some inputs, that the India could harness at least 3% of the GDP for the defense sector, and it is right now 1.97%. It is due to the COVID crisis and other crises that we are facing right now. And the next thing is PDI, Pacific Deterrence Initiative. It is, and the Quad grouping is basically the grouping of 4 countries: Australia, Japan, India, and US, to tackle the Chinese navy system. And PDI is also among that, to initiate the military exercises between the different nations. And the next is delink defense pensions from Indian defense budget. The, as we have seen that army pays much more than enough for the defense sector when it comes to the pension and all that. So they should decrease that. And the next is Bharat Raksha Fund. It is completely a foundation that anyone could donate, and that could be used for the betterment of the this all this. And the next one, two more organization, IDEX and IDTS, they work on the innovation process, and they have been given a tremendous hike of 93% as well as 95% respectively for just innovation process of this defense sector. Now I would like to have some questions, please.
Is there a setting that they will not ask?
No, sir. Everyone is allowed to ask.
Lastly, you mentioned the IDP. Can you please elaborate more about that?
ID, it's PDI. So
Yeah, there is another one term, else, except this one. We lastly mentioned that.
it is PDI, that is Pacific Deterrence Initiative. It is the initiative taken by the US as well as the Indian defense sector, in which the military exercises for making the use, they include new weapons that are made in US and made in India. They exchange the weapons and do the military exercises like it is a, they make a scenario like a real war condition. There they perform their skills and they learn from the each other, they learn from each other.
Thank you.
Is it so?
Yes sir. So there are many military exercises being held.
That is a different thing. PDI
Yes.
is a different thing.
So PDI is an initiative. It promotes those. It is a part like exercising is a part of that. Moreover, it is more focused on like grouping of the grouping of the countries, like maintaining good relations, and the weaponry system should be used by each and both of them to get the knowledge in better way. Yes.
You said that Indian Army is much more capable than
Yes.
in comparison to Indian Air Force and Indian Navy.
Yeah.
But don't you think the more casualties are done with Indian Army, and we are having the best cannon with us is Bofors, which was purchased in 1993. I think.
Yeah.
So it is a very old model. We should means.
That is why this the decrease in the modernization of the budget in Indian Army is from the last 2 years. Before that, the army was given the most amount of the money for their modernization, and now it has been decreased because the most of the threats are from the navy, from the waterways and from the airways. So if airways and waterways won't be protected in much better way, then we could suffer much loss, because the China has already acquired many of the ports of the Sri Lanka because of the debt, and what they are doing there, this is known to no one. So we have to be always ready by the all means we could be.
But it doesn't mean that we should decrease the budget for Indian Army.
That is not being decreased, it is being limited. It is being limited from the last year, and it is the hike in, it is hike in air force as well as in navy. There is no decrease, not a big decrease in the Indian army, and Indian army is much more focused on the things like manpower and the gun and in the rocket launcher and everything like this. Yes.
You are very good with these things. So don't you think there are lots of fancy names in this budget like Saptarishi?
So that is being, yes, yes. So that is being kept keeping in the mind like world guru. The aim of the our country is to become the world guru again. So these are the some Sanskrit terms that are related to the our ancient India. Like we
Don't you
were.
think these are so fancy that we are nowhere reaching out those words because we will not become Vishwaguru in some time. It will take lots of
So
time.
that is being the time the Amrit Kal has been set till
The
19.
final call.
Yes, sir.
When we may reach it after 50 and 70 years after.
So that is actually the initiative
Now,
of the
I
government.
don't have much money to do the things and purchase the home chores. It is like Amrit Kal for all of us. Don't you think it is very fancy and it is very early to say these kind of words? They can uh, they can just restrain or refrain themselves like for few years.
So it could be refrained. Yes, sir, it could be refrained, but that are the initiatives by the government of the India. And if they have said this, then there is a proper vision. It is because of the AI as well as the robotics and other things, machine learning, which are increasing very rapidly. And this year also, the this AI sector has been given a very good boost in the for the development of the country. So all over, if the things go as planned, then this Amrit Kal will be Amrit Kal.
And one thing like AI, I have just heard about Tesla.
Yes.
So it will stop in between the road. So it will be like AI in the defense system, and I have seen lots of American movies and
Yes, sir. They misbehave.
They misbehave and they
So there's been
later is something like that.
so there's been a working robot who has been appointed as who's been given a citizenship of the US, and her name is Sophia. she's a robot, and she hasn't malfunctioned till yet, and she is working properly, although she is just meant for the household purpose only, and she is a proper citizen of this whole world. So the but as well as the betterment will be go on and research and development will be continued, this all will be fixed in some duration, because a lot of years ago the guns and the artilleries were also a big thing, but now they are stable and under control.
So adding to this, I want to ask you how modernization the government is planning in Navy and Army. It is much less.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
basically, when considering Navy, how modernization is going to happen with these two?
Ma'am, the INS Vikrant and INS Vikramadit, these are the two aircraft carrier ships. That is the INS Vikramadit is at the third position, at the fourth position in the world level for the aircraft carrier, and the INS Vikrant is at the seventh position. So they, when we built the ships like this, which could carry the aircrafts with them, so that will be much easier with when there is a war condition. Then these ships could attack from themselves, as well as they could send the aircrafts for the air attack also. So it is beneficial from both of point of view. We have submarines that was launched like 2 years ago. I actually don't remember its name, but it was made with some new systems, like it could not be detected easily, like the China is using right now. China has deployed almost 60 to 70 submarines in the Indian Indo-Pacific region. But to tackle all them, we are getting ready day by day.
So we have to be more defensive, you're saying.
Yes, ma'am. We are bit more defensive, because as India never attacked someone at first, we are naturally defensive in nature.